in City, Tennessee, just happened to stop in one day and left their card with me and said somebody would call later, and they did. The gentleman came over. Some of the microphones do not even work, so it's no wonder that they're having trouble hearing. His proposal is $3,500, and he has it listed there on the second page. You all will see. I checked with the IT gentleman that helps us here at the city, and he thought this looked like a reasonable request, and he said that the Shure microphones are good. And this would also include one microphone for the podium, because that can't always be heard on the TV either. He's got the third page. It just shows some of the work they have done. The Discovery Park of America, which is over at Union City, and churches, and then the last page just gives the history and shows the brands that they use. We also talked about the possibility of later being able to come along and either have the iPads for the council members or some sort of a device so that we don't have to have the paper anymore. And then we would also have a TV back here for the audience to be able to see. And he said that all of this that we're looking at would not be a problem to fit it all in. But this is a good place to start. And I believe this is something that's needed to be done for several years.
All right, will this microphones, will they be tied into the camera or so that they get the speaker?
Yes. We'll have new equipment back here, and then it will, because he knows that it is taped, so it will all be tied in.
And one of the objections I've always had as far as tying into our recording system is that, you know, it goes into our tape, which may or may not be having the effect on you. But, some of the past city clerks didn't want it on their tape recording that they use for typing up the minutes. Said it would interfere.
Okay,
To
well,
some extent, I don't know, but
I don't use the recording, so I don't
Okay.
believe that would.
but of course the biggest gripe has been that they just can't hear it when they're watching it.
Yeah. I used to talk about the picture, but the picture's excellent now, and so it's the sound, and, you know, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it to where people don't have a problem hearing or seeing.
So this is just for the taping then? The total expense is just for them because you're not using the...
No, it'll be new,
But it all is going to,
Improves the camera.
it's just for, because we're taping and broadcasting it over. It's not going to be for any city use.
as far as what? Because, I mean,
Well, the clerk,
eventually,
the system was put in originally for the clerks to have recordings. It wasn't for tape recordings, for rebroadcast. I'm not right, Mr. Withers?
Yeah, the record just went back here on this tape there.
well, I mean, times have changed, and we want our people to be able to hear what people are saying.
I wasn't clear, and I just wondered if other people weren't clear on it also, what it was, the money was going for, purpose of it.
I would say the sound system for the recording, I guess, would answer your
TV broadcast.
question.
I'll be all for it if it provides a local information to the public as they're watching our council meeting.
Are we budgeted with this though?
Well, for my budget, there was nothing under capital improvements because there is a savings account that has not been used, and so I can use that to purchase for this and then to do the remodeling that's needed in the building.
Then it would probably be good next meeting, approve it next meeting,
Okay,
since it is an unbudgeted item over $1,000.
okay.
Is it something we could get a bid on? I have to ask.
It's not required, not 3,500, I believe. I don't think we require bids.
Understood.
5,000 for, there's a bid requirement.
Any other discussion? If not, we'll table this to the next meeting.
Well, it needs to be, no, I'm sorry, it will be voted on at the next meeting, okay.
Very good.
Very review. On the tax-free bid. It was discovered this week that, the council had voted to participate in the tax-free weekend coming up, the 1st of August. Unfortunately, it also requires that there be an ordinance done, and it has to be turned into the state 45 days before this weekend. So there's no way we can get this done for this year. If the council wishes for this to be done for next year, we could go ahead and get it filed, and we'll be okay next year. But this was just one of the things that slipped.
Well, no, I mean, it never was voted on. It never was voted to, because there never was an ordinance.
Oh, okay.
And what we need to know, I assume we're gonna do the tax-free weekend, the one in, this time of the year, before we go back to school. Or are we also wanting to do the tax-free weekend, I believe, for green items, which is done or saving, or energy efficient items in the spring? Do we wanna do both or just one? Or do we know?
Do both, yes.
The information you gave us was just about the tax-free weekend for back to school, wasn't it?
Yes, but I remember the discussion, you voted to do, or you discussed doing both, then.
The green
Yeah,
and.
I don't recall, but I know it was both discussed, but nothing was ever approved or,
We need to prove it. I hadn't voted against it last year.
yeah, I'm not sure.
In the minutes, Crystal was asked to get the information from the Department of Revenue, and she did. And, I think maybe it just wasn't
I don't think
followed
anything,
up on.
I don't think anything went on from there, so
Didn't the local businesses support that? Didn't you
Yes.
talk to them at that time? Seemed like I remember they were all kind of behind it, weren't they, wanting to participate, if we could.
Yeah, I think about 150 people answered my survey, and only 4 were against it.
If the council chooses to do it, we can approve it tonight, and then Diane can put it on bring up next year, so that the paperwork can be processed.
well, let's go ahead and put it, to pass the ordinance at the next meeting, so we don't have to worry about a deadline. Get it on the agenda. Because after we discussed it last time, it never got on the agenda.
Next meeting.
Okay.
Don't really have anything to report tonight. There's been a lot of people complaining about the number of cats we have in town. Quite emotional issue. We have one party that names the cats, and another party disposes of them, apparently. So that's been the mayor's hot issue and topic for the week. And that. Time for public comments?
I'm gonna need to,
Bids.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna need to do bids. I need to get our bids approved here tonight.
Yeah, this is bids, the street department.
Street
will
department,
have
okay.
bids, I wrote that
I'm
off.
sorry?
Is that what you were trying to say?
No, I was thinking, he says something about my letter.
Yeah, he needs to do that too.
Try to do all the time we can to withdraw. Okay.
All right.
So, Tom,
We have quite a few things that we have to worry about tonight. Trying to get the concrete work done, and I'd like to make a motion that we go with Nip Kelly Equipment Company for our concrete work, and it totals $210,236. And that, if you, I'll read it off real quick. Intersection of Kennett and Ninth, Jones Street, Washington and Wilson, the north half, Washington and Wilson, the south half, Electric Street, Holly Street, Tico Street, Michael Street, and that's it. And totaling $210,236. So,
Motion.
yeah, that's a motion, that's in form of a motion.
Is that all transportation?
Yeah, this is all transportation money, and this is the streets and intersections. And we're trying to push on it to get some of these intersections done prior to the starting of school as well.
Okay. Motion second, any further discussion, questions?
What was the total?
$210,236, and that was a significantly lower bid than this. I'm sorry?
It's quite a bit under what we had budgeted.
Yeah.
What we figured on.
Goes under budget, and we may be able to do some more work because of it.
Good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You got it, Bill.
All right, more here. We have, also have the transportation tax. We know we can do some specific items specifically related to transportation only. I've had a discussion with Mr. McVeigh on it. We are looking at some things like snow plows and stuff like that in the future that can only be used for the street, and that is it. But right now, we're looking at a tracked vehicle. We're wanting to get to do some of our concrete removal ourselves so that we can save on the transportation tax some of the cost. And if we can get this tracked vehicle, we can, with some adaptive equipment on it, some accessories on it, we can get a lot of this work done ourselves. That's the only way it can be used is with the streets. No other use for it. And it totals with our trade-in, the equipment and our attachments also. The low bid on it comes to a total of $66,066.08. We had budgeted $75,000 there, so we're under budget by about $9,000 on that item. And it would be the low bid comes from Bobcat right now. So I'd like to.
Did you say with a trade-in?
With the trade-in. We're trading in our old, yeah, old,
Case.
yeah, okay. So total budgeted was $75,000 total cost with assessed the attachments. And we need the included in the attachments was a snow blade and grinder, things like that we can use on the streets. Angle broom, a root grapple if y'all are interested in that as well. And total of $66,066.08. That's the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion second, discussion?
The catch to this is it has to be on the streets only, and that is what all this will be done. This is part of that tax.
Comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
One more. We have two pickup trucks we're looking at, and we're also looking at a medium-duty dump truck. And we had a total budget was $131,135. Our low bid is actually a Freightliner, but the delivery date on that would not be till the second week in February. And our problem becomes we need it now. Our dump trucks are in bad shape. As y'all know, when the transportation tax passed, we went from a budget of $30,000 a year for work that was being done to $750,000 a year. And so a lot of our equipment cannot handle this type of work that we're doing. We're running 3 dump trucks right now. We have 3, and every one of them's pretty much burnt to a crisp. Is that right? And so we would, although the low bid was the Freightliner, we can get the Kenworth right now, deliver date of the 7th of August, and so we can get it started right now.
You need the truck now?
What's the difference between?
$79,500 versus $76,292.
$3,000?
So our proposal then is to go ahead and go with the Kenworth so we can get it started on the 7th of August. We would also like to get a F-150 pickup and a F-350 Super Duty. And all of it is gonna come in under budget by about $3,000. The purpose of the 350 Super Duty is it has to do with the snowplow as well, and we're looking at other options with our snowplows. And so we're trying to prepare for wintertime in the future with that.
And it'll have a dump bed on
Yeah, which one's that?
this one.
Yeah,
We'll have
oh
a
yes,
dump
the
bed.
350 will have a dump bed as well.
And what was the total amount for all 3?
The total for all 3 was $128,311.24, and budgeted was $131,135. So while the key to it is just the delivery date. That's it.
Your motion is for the one we get the truck in August
Yes, sir.
2nd.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're always suspect.
The one meeting you missed, it was the Roger and Larry show.
You're always good like that.
Keep busy, Randy. Keep busy.
Anything else, Mr. Pond?
No, sir, ain't not enough. Gives me a headache.
But you're going shopping spree.
That's right. Well, we want to, the town's gonna look good when we're done with all this. I mean, over the next couple of years, you're gonna see a lot of changes, everything from residential to industrial, the whole works, and I'm really looking forward to the changes that you're gonna see. I think the citizens will be proud of the work that's being done.
I do have a couple other items here. A couple of requests from Sharon Gardis, Director of the Kennett Housing Authority. Quote, I would like to appoint Adela Wright, an open position on the Kennett Housing Authority Board. To begin August 1st, 2015, which will be a 4-year appointment.
I don't know, Wade, but I would certainly have probably no objection if Sharon thinks it's worthwhile.
My thought as well.
Second it.
Sharon's recommendation, motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Put this off as long as I could. I also have a letter here to the mayor and city council with regret that I offer my resignation as Ward 1 councilwoman effective Wednesday, July 22nd, 2015. I'll soon be moving to Jefferson City. I've enjoyed my time on the council and the work we've done for the interest of the city and the citizens. Sincerely, Freddie Sokolov. Obviously, it's going to be Kennett's loss and Jeff City's gain. Freddie's been a real asset, and I had the privilege of sitting there and a lot of discussions with her over time frame years. Accept this? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the resignation.
So moved reluctantly.
We don't accept your resignation.
We'll have to drive.
She says Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
In keeping with this resignation, again, I've been putting this off. What I'm proposing to do is to form a three-person search committee for a replacement. I'm not prepared to name the names tonight. Any of you that would like to serve on that search committee, please contact me. We will try to get the committee formed and do our diligent work. I currently have about 6 or 8 names on a list of people that have expressed interest in being on the council, and I'll share those with you once we form the committee. I'd like to move this along as quickly as we can and possibly get the replacement in place for the August 4th meeting. I don't know if this is carryover. We've got a lot of police officer letters here.
If it's promotion, personnel, hiring, firing, this will go into publicly do that.
We wouldn't have anything else that I'd bring up before the council.
I have a letter here received from the VFW folks, Philip Greenway. I'll just read it to you, addressed to the mayor and me and Diane Ryder and whatever. It is with great pleasure that we convey our sincere appreciation for your efforts regarding the support and effort regarding 1137 MP Company and the pinning ceremony for Brigadier General Wendell G. Hagler on July 10th. Comments received from the Kennett community and the Missouri Army National Guard were very complimentary and confirmed our own thoughts pertaining to the professional manner in which you plan your official duties in support of the Kennett National Guard. We know it takes long, hard hours of work and considerable personal sacrifice to correlate and the myriad details necessary to ensure success of leadership in your community, our community. Your display of exceptional skill and resourcefulness in coordinating our work, your dependability, initiative, and talent to surmount difficulties in your path and enliven those who come in contact with you. Your constant dedication and ability to complete tasks in a superior manner is a direct reflection on the respect and support you receive from the citizens, National Guard soldiers, and veterans alike. He has some more on it, but anyway. So he had a long discussion with our Adjutant General about the 1137th staying in Kent. At one time here in the recent past, there was a move in place to get it moved to Jackson. And our Adjutant General was the one that draws that line. And he was, didn't say that would never happen, but he was pretty emphatic in regarding Mr. Greenway that the support of this unit here in Kennett and the expression of that support to this pinning service and whatever else was very meaningful to him and all. He said it would be regarded for a long, long time. So it was good that some of us could make it out there. Of course, our police department, fire department, they were all represented too. So that I don't want to neglect anybody, but it was a nice service.
I'd like to add what Roger's saying there. The service pinning ceremony was quite impressive, and first time I ever had an opportunity to see a general pin.
Yeah.
And also had an opportunity to have some conversation with the Adjutant General. So I think Kenneth stood pretty proud on that day. Okay, anything else? Any public comments? Yes, sir.
Got a question. On your Kenworth truck, what engine did they put in that? Is it a Cummins?
Yes.
Is it, okay.
Packard.
Okay, we still do service work, just wanna let everybody know that. a Freightliner dealer out of Poplar Bluff. So if you still, even though you decided not to go with our truck, not a big deal. I mean, we're here to help y'all. You know, you might need us in the future, so,
Yes.
You know, no hard feelings. We wanna be here, able, willing, and ready, you know, if you need us.
Thank you. We have more work ahead of us.
I
There's no
understand.
doubt.
We appreciate that, and I'm sure these gentlemen will call on you if they need your service. Let's entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Wait a minute.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking down, so we're good.
Yeah, I've got a couple questions. Earlier in the meeting, talked about putting in microphones for here. I don't do that, but I know there's a couple companies here in town. I mean, this is the council for Kennett, and looking for something to do better than what you've got. You've got, I think, the company, Fresh Tech, they've been here for, 6, maybe 9 months, or a little better. They're members of the chamber. You've got Ken's Music, and also, there's another one here in town that I'm quite sure, there's another tech, Seawall. So we've got some possible local, so before you guys vote on an out of town, let's put Kennett dollars to Kennett dollars, and look from that aspect. And then, number 2 is, looking at, the St. Francis Committee. I don't know if you guys have had time yet to, pick a date, things like that. We really want to push that issue, try and get things going along with that as well. And then, I know some of you guys were here last meeting, some weren't, but I officially throwing my hat in the ring for, Ms. Ray's position. That I live in Ward 1, have a business in Ward 4. August 1st is actually my 16-year anniversary for my office. So we're getting ready to have a anniversary month up there. So I've been here, I'm from here, and I'm looking to, improve on Kennett. So whenever you do decide who's on that committee, I hope that my name's definitely on that list, because I would like to be there. And so, but besides that, that's where I'm at. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I like the idea of using Kennett businesses as we can.
Yes.
Does the council want a break before we go into closed session?
I'm gonna go ahead and vote to go in though.
You got a motion? You got a second?
Yep.
Motion is second, for the closed session?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Roll
All right.
call.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.